Now, there's a story out of New Jersey that's really got some people very, very concerned. Seems like there seems to be an abuse of power, as I'll explain. There's a woman who happens to be a progressive activist, recently lost her job thanks to the intervention of a Republican congressman. Now, it's reported that Rodney Frulinghuysen, ooh, that's a tough one, sorry, the new chair of the House Appropriations Committee, got a constituent in trouble by writing a letter to an employer that was calling out her progressive activism. So that kind of sends a message of, how dare you be a progressive? Weird. So let me explain. The employee, Saily Avelenda of West Caldwell, who was active in the progressive New Jersey 11th for Change group, had ended up resigning from her job as senior vice president and assistant general counsel at Lakeland Bank. Now, this is according to a report from WNYC. In the letter, sent on campaign letterhead to the bank board member and donor Joseph O'Dowd, reads as follows. Let's be clear here that there are organized forces, both national and local, who are already hard at work to put a stop to the agenda of limited government, economic growth, and stronger national security. As you may have seen in the front page of the New York Times, the Democrat political organizations, the DCCC, ran by Nancy Pelosi, has targeted my district for Democrat takeover. Democrats have chosen to run target districts like ours because we sit in prime media markets, and their protesters are highly organized. So again, that feeds into the Democrat paid protesters. I mean, come on. They're all paid protesters, George Soros and all that, which there's absolutely zero proof of. Spontaneous protest, it looks bad for the Republicans because, well, it's projection, really. A lot of the Tea Party protests were people that were paid and bussed in by the Koch brothers. Now, anyway, so let's get back to the letter here. Now, at the bottom in blue pen, Frulinghuysen wrote by hand, P.S. One of the ringleaders works in your bank. Attached to the letter was a news clip featuring a quote from Avelenda, the woman that worked at the bank. A Google search indicates that she was quoted in a February WNYC report headline, New Jersey Citizens Group Creates a Super PAC. Avelenda is identified as being with NJ 11th for Change in the story, and is quoted as saying, part of what our goal is to educate, to ensure that they are aware of an individual that sits in the seat today, so that when they go make a choice, they all have the information they need to make a choice. So look, I'm against super PACs, obviously, but creating a super PAC shouldn't get you, well, shouldn't make you have to resign from your job. But as far as this, the way that this is set up, it seems like if you do any kind of progressive activism outside your job, and there happens to be a donor on the board that donates to big Republicans, well, then that Republican congressman is going to come after you in a way of, I guess, chilling your political activities by telling on your boss or people who work with you. Now, the story continues. After a letter Avelenda's boss confronted her, she told WNYC that she had to write a statement to her CEO, and that at my level as an assistant general counsel and senior vice president at this employer, it was not something that I expected. To have to write a letter explaining herself to the CEO. I thought my congressman put them in a situation and put me in a really bad situation as the constituent and used his name, used his position, and used his stationery to try to punish me. Again, this was official government letterhead. So this seemed like official government business. I'm going to go after this constituent that happens to also be using her First Amendment rights to try to be active in the government. Well, we don't like that because you're against me. You're trying to get me voted out. You're trying to get somebody else voted into my seat. You're campaigning against me. So, well, I'm going to use my political power to go after you. And look, she wasn't fired. True. But she did tell WNYC that his letter in the blowback contributed to her decision to resign. Now, his campaign sent WNYC a statement saying the congressman, quote, wrote a brief and innocuous note at the bottom of a personal letter in regard to information that had been reported in the media. He was in no way involved in any of the bank's business and is unaware of any of the particulars about this employee's status with the bank. So now, you heard what was in the letter, and you can check it out. I'll have a link to it in the description. He plain out said, they're coming for you. They're coming for me. You're a donor. They're coming for, limited government, and they're coming for economic growth and stronger national security. Come for all the stuff that you believe in. Here come the progressives. And you have one of the ringleaders that's working against me sitting right next to you. And here's her name. So you're calling this person out to try to get them in trouble at work. Look, man. No, he says it's not innocuous. No, this was a targeted attack towards a private citizen using the power of his position. I don't believe that it was innocuous at all. This was chilling. This is attempting to try to chill someone's political activities by going after her place of employment. It's sick. It's a definite abuse of power. And look, this guy, at the very least, needs to get voted out of office. He's got to go. Because this is just beyond the pale. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.